Hey everybody, how are we all doing? Lego Leprechaun here guys again, and today we're bringing you the second video, which is section 2 of the mountain. And just before we get started, I'd like to thank everybody for the lovely positive thumbs ups and comments on section 1 last Tuesday. And again guys, thanks again for the subscriptions, new and old. So right, let's get cracking. So as you can see from the start of the video there, I just showed the two sections coming together. I wanted to get more of a view out with the camera guys, but I can't go back any further with the wall, so you could see where it was going anyway, you know. So just joining two sections together brings this whole piece in. And on the second section, which I'll drop on close shortly, we have, as you can see there, the Winnie the Pooh set, and then just there's a bit more of a mountain walk there at the end of the second mountain. So I'm going to lens in on that now there and just show you the details. So over here guys, as we said, we started with this last week and we came up here as far as this line. Alright, and I wanted to put, again, these are wonderful sets, and if you don't have a place to kind of put them in your city, you could put them anywhere, don't get me wrong, but they're kind of shelf sets if you have kind of a modern city to a degree with just roads and modulars. But with a mountain section like this and the room that I have, I'm quite lucky to be able to have a place to put them where they kind of look like they're in a bit of natural landscape, you know. So as you could see when we were talking about this the other day, the blacksmith, we have her in and we have her kind of out here, and the horse and cart, that's the way of reaching this area here. And then I just wanted to put a small bit of separation, we'd say, with some of the prickly bushes here, and we have the Winnie the Pooh area itself, you know. Now again guys, I grew up with this as a kid, you know. I used to look at it and I used to love it. So it was a great little set, and I just wanted to just implement it in somewhere because it looks natural enough with the brown as a tree and the green is lovely at the top, and the minifigs are lovely as well, you know. So we just about squashed it in here at the side of the mountain, and then we have a little walkway at the, you can barely see here now because it's so dark again, excuse the lighting. So we just literally walk out the back corner there, and then we come around here to this side, and we have a small little path, as you can see. And the small sign that comes with it that says the 100-acre wood, like that's what I wanted to just peering off here in below this mountain, like a little walk, you know. And then we have just a few trees and the minifigs themselves, Pooh and Tiger and Little Piggy, and the start of the second mountain then shoots up here. So this isn't exactly complete yet down here guys. I kind of placed them down on a flat area. I want to get a bit more detail, like some stepping stones and stuff in that path. And the trees are kind of, they're just basic, but they just give the idea of a kind of a little small wood. Certainly not 100 acres. But you have room in the shade for anything else. So yeah, and here at the side of this mountain, as you saw clipping in a while ago, we have a small area here where mountain climbers can come in, and they can come up to this little patch, and they have a small bit of a climb up. And this green area in the first mountain, as I said, like where the sheep are and the pines, is a kind of a general walk around the mountain for a hiker. But then we have, as you said in the first video there, we've got the actual rock climbers going up here, you know, to the top. So that's just the kind of entrance to that area here, and the walk enters there, and it's along with the Winnie the Pooh area is here. Now this guys here was kind of a different way of building rock, a bit of a different take on things. It's more jagged and sharp, and you're going to see from section 3, excuse me, where I'll have that path continuing. It literally comes up and it comes around there to meet the Pooh, and that's the entrance in. Then we'd say when it's out in the city, we're going to come in here where at the end of the actual kind of sandy beige castle is. This will run up here to Wayne Manor, the drive, and in here then we can bring in some campers and stuff like that, and they'll kind of park around this area, and we'll have enough green in here, and somewhere we'll have the Flintstones over here, which I'll get to in the next vid. But this area here with this jagged sharp rock, I just wanted again bring in a bit of change, you know. Like, I'm so used to doing this kind of rock, as I was explaining the difference we say down here, as opposed to as the mountain goes high. And again, it's not very different bar the actual smaller slopes in comparison to longer slopes. But with this, I just love the whole idea of getting a ton of flat pieces and just rigidly, you know, put them up like this, where it's a start of a fairly mild hike and then it just gets steep. So there's a bit of thinking if you were to actually be climbing it, you know. And we all know what it's like to walk jagged rock and stuff like that, or at least see it anyway, you know. So again, a bit of a different technique, guys, and how I approach this, because as I was going along with this, you know, it's not that it's repetitive. I love doing it because I don't know what's coming ahead. I have to reshape things and again shape it into peaks, but I just want to bring in something different, you know. So this is a good tie-in, and the next video will bring this together where you see where it's going, you know. So with that being said, like, it's it's great to bring in as you're kind of, I suppose, creating from your head, in your imagination, different elements. And again, guys, you go on Instagram there and you can check out some brilliant builds from people, you know, and some great ideas. And then just try and bring your own, I suppose, bit of a touch to it. So I saw one guy had this, but his was more, I suppose, in a kind of a longer plane, you know. And I literally wanted to make, I suppose, I'll be thinking of myself, guys. I did a bit of mountain climbing years ago, and I was, you know, just being into being a fitness coach and stuff like that. I was always jumping around and tinkering around. I loved it for years. And if I saw a bit of a challenge on a kind of a rocky mountain, like, I'd be going up the harder way than the actual easier way. And when I built this, I wanted to, I just wanted to have it, sorry, I know for the camera moving around here, but I wanted to have it kind of really, you know, okay here, like, but as you're going up the very, very, very small steps, like, you'd almost have to use your hands if you're going to get up to the top, you know. And this is my imagination, I suppose. I'd literally picture myself as the size of a fig, thinking, a minifig, what I would like to do if I was to actually start this mountain and where I'd like to go, you know. Now, guys, I'm not a rock climber. Like, I done a bit a few years back and I loved it, you know, but it takes dedication and stuff like that. But I just love the element of the challenge. So between building it and picture myself on it, I suppose that's how my mind works when I'm beginning to create things, because I picture myself, I suppose, as small as a minifigure, walking through these areas, or, you know, climbing trees. I was always a kid and still will be to this day. And then just picturing the challenges in how I'd walk, climb, jump, run. Love it. Always love it. Like, so these ideas come in my head. So again, a small kind of bit of research on different, we'd say, techniques in building. And then with my own head and my own interests in what I love doing, I just kind of implement that as well as into the building side of it as well, you know. So that's just a little bit more input into it, guys. And another thing I just want to say as well, probably I'll have to do one of these sections anyway, where I'm going to just turn it around and show the back of it, because the heights, this area here, where I'm coming along, and then we have it along and along. When I was doing that first, I thought, okay, that's just a little bit square looking for what I want. So I thought I'm really going to have to bring up the levels a little bit and make it a bit more, you know, up and down. But I did have to have it kind of squarish anyway for these to kind of sit there. And I didn't want to, like, I could have upped the level of one of them, but then if you're going up too high with this, you're kind of going into the mountain height behind, you know. And I didn't want to take away from the height of the actual mountain behind. So I had to have a kind of a flat area and a bit of a walk. And then we have the heights going up. So I'm going to turn one of these sections around, not in this video. The next section here is a smaller section, and I'll just turn it around just to show you what I do behind. But what is great is, unless you're near a Lego store and you can pull out 2x4s, 2x2 bricks and cram them down into a few cans and walk away with it for a lot cheaper than what you would if you were to order off Lego.com. That's grand. But in my case, I got my hands on Duplo, guys, and Duplo is just, you know, as we know, it's a big brick. It still sits and sticks to your normal base plate, and I could be up at any height. In this case, we'd say like there's a few of these behind some of the sections now where you go right up to support as the mountain falls back, you know, then we have something to stick it to. And these, of course, are too big for a plate, but not for a brick. So I have 2 seconds there now. Just these are 2x6 plates, or sorry, bricks, two of them together, and they sit perfectly like that and stick down. So when I was doing the first section of this mountain, tis this side, when it comes over here, is the support for this one here. So when I didn't have that section in here on video 1, which was this last week, I used this to actually support just the side of the mountain, and it worked perfect, absolutely perfect, just for stability, just for that. But that was temporary. But behind the mountains themselves and some of the ledges, as you see the sections going on, you'll see a lot of the Duplo in there. It is a winner. You could, don't get me wrong, use the wood like I have on my tables, but again, very unpredictable, and trying to meet the height with all the cut wood at the exact same, and the brick then could be just a millimetre off, so it is either too low or too high. So again, if I was redoing my city with heights, roads and everything else, these is what I'd be going for. You know, they're fantastic for support and for volume, for height, you know. So anyway, guys, that's just section 1 and section 2 review there. And again, thanks to everybody for looking in on the last video and just showing your appreciation. I really, really appreciate it myself, very much so, from all the likes and subscriptions. So guys, we will be doing section 3 on Tuesday coming. So I'm kind of working it where I have a full day at home where I just completely work on video making and building on the Tuesday. So Tuesday and kind of Sunday are the 2 days that I want to be kind of posting consistently. And this is, as I said, section 1 was last Tuesday, section 2, which is today, Sunday, and then we have section 3 coming on Tuesday, and so on. So looking forward to showing you that part, and again a bit more explanation as to how the back works with it as well. So again, guys, thanks for everything, and Lego Leprechaun out.